Technophy on there faster than can manage. So this is a 5-minute delay, so we won't be seeing that card blocker again. Blood Diamond versus Sapphire Diamond. With the Tunnel Troop on the Sapphire Diamond player's side of the board. I am pretty sure I know what that troop is. We've seen Living Totem going in. One of the strongest 2-drops in the game with its ability to just spend resources and get bigger and bigger. Fierock got a pretty tight hand here, just full of cards that you're usually really happy to have. Missing that second blood for most of them, though.
Yeah, a lot of good threats there.
Kind of hard to see. Fierock definitely has... Yeah, he's going to start putting counters on it. He's got a Soul Marble hiding over there under his chat. Whereas Berkeley, on the other side of the board with his Tunnel Troop, also has a Soul Marble.
So we see Fierock going to attack with the Living Totem here, it looks like.
No reason not to at this point. Doesn't look like it's going to drag out a removal or a time removal. Oh, it does find the repel.
Berkeley does have repel here.
Chooses to use it here. We're going to see a Tunnel Troop on Fierock's side of the board. Interesting in that he will soon be able to complete his Soul Marble as well. And Berkeley getting pretty close to completing his as well. He won't be able to complete it next turn, but probably the turn after. It very much depends on the resources that he has to expend and what he draws. But that third counter going onto the Tunnel Troop almost 100% solidifying that as the focus of almost everyone's hate.
Reese the Crustcrawler.
Reese the Crustcrawler. Is the Soul Marble completion important here, Neo? Do you think this is a game about who completes their Soul Marble first, or is there another factor in play?
It's possibly... Really, I think what this game hinges on is really what happens when this resurfaces, and if Berkeley has the counter magic ready for the extinction that Fierock is holding. I think that's going to kind of be the key here, because if he can get rid of the Reese, Fierock has a pretty decent chance here.
That's true. That being said, some interesting things happen here. Soul Marble being turned into Soul Cavalry, given the life drain effect by Dimid, allowing Fierock to gain some health here. Now, because Soul Marble is a troop that becomes out of Soul Marble, because it's already on the board and Soul Cavalry is created out of it. It does not enter play, thus does not gain a decoy counter for that Monsoon underground. So extinction here will not mean that Soul Cavalry will come back to the board when Monsoon surfaces, which is an interesting reaction and not really that intuitive off the top of our head. Also of note, and probably the most important factor here, like Infamous Neo said, is that Fierock does not have a second blood threshold, so the most powerful cards in Fierock's hands are not actually playable. Yet. Mastery of Time coming out from Berkeley. Tectonic Mega Hulk, the king of troops Reese can create. Reese is on fire. Angel of Dawn off the top. The Soul Marble's gonna finish. Oh my goodness. I actually...
Quite the strong bonus turn there.
What the actual flip it. So, dang. This is... still not game. Fierock has a ton of health from his earlier health gain shenanigans. And Tectonic Mega Hulk, the only troop that's swinging in here, it's possible we see another mastery. All right, there's that work bot randomly creating a worker bot, slightly less exciting than the Tectonic Mega Hulk. There's the blood. Now, it all hinges down to this moment. Obviously, the Soul Cavalry will get the health gain the life drain, swing in here, and this looks normal. That Alucard's almost salty. So Soul Cavalry will die in its block here. Extinction will try to be played. There are 2 cards, and one of them is in fact Counter Magic. That will lock out the game. If Berkeley was not holding a Verdict or a Counter Magic there, the game could have very easily swung back into Fierock's favor. But that is just so much damage on the other side of the board now that it cannot be dealt with like that.
Yeah, as we've seen here, the Soul Cavalry usually can't increase on its own. It needs to have some help. And when we saw, I think it was Berkeley's, the name of the opponent, create the Soul Armaments there. At that point, the only other option is to have Extinction.
There is always going to be a that card. I agree. I mean, that's kind of the way TCGs work. While our players are doing their reserves, I will let you guys know there is still a giveaway going on in chat. Another 700 platinum, or is this the monsoon?
It's an Angel of Dawn this time.
It's an Angel of Dawn. We have so much stuff to give away. Angel of Dawn being given away. Just type, I'll be having that orange, like everyone else is typing in chat. All one word. Capitalization.
Give away things faster. We're not going to be able to do it before the tournament ends.
We'll just have to hold on to stuff to give away in the next cups. And I mean, we have to give away all that platinum. Colin gave us that platinum. He's like, give this away. It's a rough life we're in where we've got so much stuff to give away. Look at all those people in the proving grounds. It was a glorious sight.
Say we have, I think I'm hopeful as well as a lot of other people that we will have some new cards in the next set that will be able to push things away from Mono Sapphire a bit too. Actually, the thing that makes me most hopeful is seeing that dual shard for the elves. I'm hoping to see some kind of elf aggro deck. That would be awesome. And it looks like Fierock is ready and starting up his match, or his next game here.
All right, here we go. Berkeley, of course, will very likely choose to play first. Not a whole lot of decks in the game that don't choose that go first situation.
Well, Berkeley won the first one, right? So. Yeah, so Berkeley has chosen to draw here. We see interesting hand for Fierock here. I think I would probably go ahead and keep this one too. He's considering it here.
It's not a bad situation to be in here on the draw, knowing that it's just like a couple of blood away from pulling things into a much better hand. You can start building up that soul marble pretty quickly, and you've also got the living totem on the hand.
Yeah, I mean, Fierock is playing a deck that needs more than 2 shards in total, but that's still pretty good. That's pretty playable. For the people who are asking, I think we have You should be able to see the standings on the Battlefy page. I don't know if anyone's listening that could link that. Would appreciate it. We see Fierock playing a Diamond Shard on turn 1, giving the chance for the Angel of Dawn just in case. Berkeley also playing a Diamond Shard on turn 1.
Gotta always be conscious of that that early Angel of Dawn. Those are the Dungeon Crawler sleeves, I believe. My jealousy knows no bounds. No bounds. Here we see a Diamond Shard laid out again. Will we see a Soul Marble or a Living Totem? Soul Marble is the choice. I guess that is probably the correct play. Soul Marble or Living Totem both have advantages and disadvantages there, but I mean, in a game where you know your opponent also has Soul Marble, finishing yours first, always relevant. Those are not Dungeon Crawler sleeves. Those are Raid Leader. Alright, that's fair. My jealousy still shows through. Thank you for the correction in chat. Dungeon Crawler is the Chimera. The Chimera.
Do you see the Shards of Fate to get the Sapphire there, but that will be no more play for Berkeley since he only has one resource available.
So you see a third shard. Now, interesting, because if you see that dual shard there, that Shard of Prosperity, either he doesn't have another source of Sapphire in his hand and he wanted to play the Diamond turn 1, or he just drew that and he's kind of hunting for shards. And we see him play a Sapphire there, so it's kind of interesting the order he's playing these shards in. But now he does have that double Sapphire up. He does have Diamond in hand. He's going to play out his own Soul Marble here. Let me see a couple of counters going on to the Soul Marbles. The Soul Marble getting bigger and smaller as things go.
You see Fierock play out the blood here, and he's decided that he's just going to go ahead and pass for the turn. Berkeley puts one counter on his Soul Marble.
Interesting control matchup, honestly, when there's two Soul Marbles on either side of the board. Also interesting that Berkeley chooses to use his resources this turn to just lay out that Eldritch Dreamer. The Eldritch Dreamer going to be in a little bit of danger here at some point, but for now it's relatively safe. Fierock chooses to put the rest of his counters down onto his Soul Marble. 7-1 in terms of Soul Marblishness. The Shard of Retribution comes out. Fierock finds his second blood threshold that he was hunting for last game. And now he chooses to deal with the Eldritch Dreamer. I think that's correct. I mean, you definitely don't want to let your opponent swing with that kind of nonsense and start drawing cards. And he puts a counter on his Soul Marble and passes off the turn.
Oh, and we see that free Angel hype. Berkeley with the top deck Miracle Angel. Now we do see he also plays the chump blocker here, the worker bot, so that in case Fierock decides to go ahead and make the Soul Cavalry, he's got a blocker for it. Now Berkeley's got one counter with 5 resources available. This is pretty much the perfect spot for him. If he's got the counter and Fierock plays something that he wants to play, that he wants to stop, he can. And if not, he's able to go ahead and level up the Soul Marble next turn instead.
Looking at his hand, and it looks like he's going to go with the Solitary Exile.
Yep, and it meets the counter magic.
JJ, could you quickly explain how the 2-2-1 tie is going to be handled for Metronomy in chat?
Sure. So for Metronomy, if you have 3 players that are all scored 2-1, we're gonna look at the number of game wins that all you have. So for example, if somebody won 2-0 on their 2 wins, then they would be favored, and we would give the tiebreaker to them. If everybody has the same number of game wins, then we will go to pre-tournament ranking your seed that you had when you came into the tournament. So you don't need to play another round if you have 3 players that are 2-1. If there's 2 players that are 2-1, you should go ahead and play that to decide who wins, though. Back to the game, we see the Soul Cavalry did get completed an attack, and we did have the chump block there. Berkeley puts a few more counters on his Soul Marble. He's currently at 3. Plays a Shard of Purpose.
Dual resources, of course, showing a little bit of their lack of power this late into a match. When you play them, you get the charge, you get the threshold, but you do not get the resource for the turn. It's always kind of the situation. Angel of Dawn going in overhead again. Naturally, Angel of Dawn going to have a little bit of trouble out damaging and pacing Soul Cavalry. But at this point, Berkeley's pretty close to finishing that Soul Marble. So we'll see, what does Fierock choose to do here? Could be a swing. I mean, the Soul Cavalry has Spell Shield, and there's not a whole lot in this situation outside of, like, Heroic Inspiration that do a whole lot. Here come those counters on the Soul Marble. Living Totem, Fierock's choice here, is going to murder and get rid of that Angel of Dawn. I guess choosing to just deal with the situation as it comes. I wonder if he's worried about, like, is in the situation where Berkeley manages to get out a Soul Cavalry of his own. I mean, Fierock's still super far ahead here, so I gotta wonder what the plan is.
I need to apologize. I actually did misspeak there as far as the tiebreakers. What I said is correct as far as determining who would be the top of the pod, but you actually do still need to play the top 2 players out of the 3 2-1 players. So if you have 3 players that are 2-1, you do have the 2 top players that need to play each other. So I apologize for the confusion there. That was my fault.
Apparently something interesting going on with Pool B. Yeah, it is the 2-2-1 combination that's being asked about.
Yeah, that's the problem here. I'm going to go off. I'm going to mute myself here for just a second, Penta.
Alrighty. Well then, left alone, as Infamous Neo can't watch streams, and Hacky Channel is off for a shower, we will watch as a lone worker bot gets in the way of that Soul Cavalry. Fierock going up to 34 health, playing Monsoon out of his hand, and now laying down his Soul Marble. Almost all of his cards are on the table, staring down that unblockable card draw engine with Spell Shield and Steadfast, the 5/5 Eldritch Dreamer. This is a much more interesting situation than the board was in just a minute ago, because this Eldritch Dreamer will draw an extra card for Berkeley, and no matter how far behind he is, those extra cards might be all he needs to swing the board around. A Repel or a Solitary Exile are still both very good here, and he finds the Solitary Exile, pulls it out, targets the Monsoon. He doesn't want to deal with the Rage 2 of Monsoon. Every time Monsoon would attack, it would gain that 2 attack power, and thus Eldritch Dreamer couldn't block it on the first turn. Without trading, Soul Cavalry would get through, and Living Totem would be the only possible block. So, Berkeley, once again, still on a lower health total, possibly just going to kind of flutter out here. We have to see what Fierock chooses to do. He's got the option of, and is going to, give his Living Totem flight, going to swing with both troops here. get 2 damage in at least, and the 6 from the Soul Cavalry will be unblocked, bringing Berkeley down to 6. This is a dangerous, dangerous situation for him, especially with the potential that Soul Marble will be completed next turn. There's a lot of cards that could help Berkeley here, but it's a matter of finding them and having them in this situation, really. We are still projecting sound, I hope, Tech, because somebody said they just lost sound. I hope that's not the whole... Okay, awesome. Thank you for letting me know. We got another Eldritch Dreamer out. Now, the second Eldritch Dreamer, assuming we don't see... Ooh. Okay, so Shard of Retribution, not the shard that will generate a resource for the turn. The Soul Marble cannot be completed this turn. And Soul Cavalry that is on board can be double blocked. So Fierock likely has to choose to just swing with Living Totem this turn. He's not in a position where he's going to lose the game this turn anyway. He chooses to go with the Soul Cavalry. He will exchange that for one of the Eldritch Dreamers here, who will double block in this scenario. Once again, we have to bear in mind that could be a Heroic Inspiration or some such in Berkeley's hand, but we don't expect that in this sort of meta. He does trade with one of the Eldritch Dreamers, pumps up the Living Totem slightly, getting that 3 damage in. Now Berkeley needs a flying answer in addition to having his Eldritch Dreamer on the ground. He draws a card. He'll swing here. Another Solitary Exile can deal with the Soul Marble. It's a matter of having a way of dealing with the Living Totem. It doesn't necessarily, like I said, have to be a flying answer. It just has to be a way to deal with Living Totem. Solitary Exile is going to come out almost certainly targeting the Soul Marble if there's an answer for the Living Totem in hand, but it will target the Living Totem otherwise, and it is. Meaning, of course, that Berkeley doesn't have an answer to a second, to a flying troop at this point.
So many boxes.
It is so many boxes on the board. Reese the Crustcrawler comes out, and that will start creating worker bots every turn. Those will chump the Soul Marble, Soul Cavalry fairly easily. Additionally, Reese the Crustcrawler is big enough to block the Soul Cavalry on its own. But Angel of Dawn ripped off the top, played for free because of that diamond threshold on Fierock's side of the board. Now we've got another need for an answer on Berkeley's side of the board.
But now it's a lot harder because that Angel of Dawn is now Spellsealed Swift Strike.
It might be. Okay, it is. It is chosen to be the Soul Armaments. All the previous times it's been Soul Cavalry, so it was possible Fierock didn't make that choice. Now with 2 troops that can fly, Berkeley, again, in a tight spot, will draw 2 cards this turn. Finds his own Angel of Dawn.
Good top deck.
Just needs one answer now. Just needs to be able to answer Angel or Living Totem. Specifically has to draw another troop with flight because of the Spell Shield. Like Hacky said, that Spell Shield so big here. This is probably the game, but it's gotten a lot closer than anything we've been seeing before, with Berkeley on 3 and Fierock on 8 from that massive set of 30 health. Does not play a card. Yesterday is the only answer here.
Maybe a quick flyer?
Mortal Decree into Repel also.
Reversion. Well, no.
Reversion, not quite enough. Reversion into Repel. I mean, there are answers other than...
There's a few, yeah. It's...
But I don't know. I
not
expect
meta.
to see in Berkeley's deck.
Exactly. They're not meta standard answers. The damage, the swing, the delay. Does he have the answer? Probably not. He says good game. He throws his Angel of Dawn in the way. Light of Hope also would have been an answer here, interestingly enough. So, well played by both players. That's 1 game apiece, I believe. They will be going to a finals here, I think. We saw 1 game go to the Reese player. So there you guys go. Blood Diamond taking down the Restack. Woo! We saw a game that Reese didn't win. Reese was on the board too. What are you going to do now, Reese haters? Welcome back to Hacky. Welcome back to JJ. It's good to see you guys back. I was just rambling nonstop, and I'm going to keep doing that.
The one meta card that we have seen that actually would have been okay there too would have been Blinding Light. If he had the Blinding Light for that one more turn, that would have also done it there.
Shall we draw a giveaway?
Time to draw a giveaway. Draw that giveaway.
I shall. Boop. SG Chan, you are the winner of an Angel of Dawn. Congratulations. Please type your IGN in the chat.
As we saw in this last game, Angel of Dawn, an excellent card.
Angel of Dawn, a hilariously great card. We will, of course, start another giveaway right after that with a brand new keyword. But keep your eyes on chat to see what that keyword is. Infamous Neo will be letting you guys know what's going on as we keep up with the Cup of Fate pod rounds. Berkeley versus Fierock going into Game 3. Berkeley on the play. Will the turn 2 Reese overwhelm the power of Blood Diamond? Blood Diamond with a scary opening hand. Fierock will almost certainly mulligan this. Important to note that while he is on the draw, he will choose to mulligan after his opponent has chosen to keep or mulligan, so it's a little more safe. Also, he will draw a card.
Was that Cerebral Domination? Did that matter in previous games, or is this a new addition that we've seen?
It did not matter in either of the previous games, but I think it did come back in as an answer to being on the play. To being on the draw here. Now, Cerebral Domination will, of course, mean that Berkeley is not able to activate card payment powers or actions on Fierock's turn. This is a better keep, but not the best hand I've ever seen. One of the more expensive ones. We've been seeing a lot of expensive
a lot of
hands.
alternate art hype in this tournament.
My next constructed event, you won't be able to tell if my hand is my card guard or my actual hand.
It's true.
I think I broke the penta. Anyways.
No, I'm just the keyword. The giveaway is too much for me right now.
Oh, that keyword.
All right, so the first draw off Fierock's side of the board is, of course, not an Angel of Dawn, which makes him happy. He plays out his Diamond Resource, and his Diamond Resource will mean that those Angels will come into play for free. If they're drawn here.
If they're there.
Yeah. Berkeley, of course, did the same thing, laying out a Diamond first. We'll see if this matters there.
The Diamond is not an Angel of Dawn. So with 3 4-cost cards in his hand, Fierock has to wait a little bit.
He does have to wait a little bit, but there's such strong... Oh! The opponent finds the first Angel of Dawn. With Diamond in both players' deck, an early Angel of Dawn can oftentimes not only influence which way the game goes, but very drastically change it. Bear in mind, of course, that Zentos Inquisitor will be able to at least nullify a little bit of the damage coming from that Angel of Dawn. The power of that Blood at 4. Once you get to Blood 4, you've got Extinctions, Vampire Kings, Xanthos, Inquisitors, Killipedes. You've got all sorts of just powerful, powerful cards lining up. And dealing with an Angel of Dawn is not impossible at that point. Fierock, of course, also running Dimid, has the option of getting a lot of that health back. So losing 4, 8, 12 points here all at once, not the end of the world. Finds another 4-drop here. Has to stray on the side of counter magic caution, because a counter magic here, which he will see, is pretty devastating. Now, playing the Zentos Inquisitor means that Fierock will draw out a counter magic for sure, as opposed to the Verdict. Counter magic can, of course, counter just about anything in the game, whereas Verdict can only counter action non-troop cards, which is relevant here.
Probably also relevant just looking at the hand and the mix of cards that he has here, with counter magic increasing the cost of your cards, probably had an influence there.
Yeah, wanting to do that and slow down the Zentos Inquisitors, a pretty big deal. Now they baseline cost 6. Mastery of Time. Does he have 3 masteries of time to do the Angel of Dawn punch to the face Mega Chain. So we'll see 4 more damage here, and then we'll see maybe another Mastery of Time.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Did you call it?
no. Is Berkeley going for the triple? It's a single kill, a double kill. Here comes the Angel. He's going to swing in there for the triple kill. I think if he had it, I think if I was Berkeley, I'd have played it pre-combat there. I'd have been like, just to make sure the phase didn't skip. Is it? Oh, it's not. It is not. But there are
even
4
then,
cards in hand.
Even then, Fierock is at 4.
One potential chance here. Does the extinction clear the board, or is there a verdict? There's a verdict of the Ancient Kings. The thumbs are down. The Ancient Kings have downvoted the extinction. That was a little anticlimactic, but still, that was something like $60 worth of cards played out in 3 turns. Just like, wham.
That's just like the perfect hand there. Just all the answer cards and just top decking the Angel. You don't need to do anything else. Gotta love those Angels.
Yeah, that early Angel very, very heavily changing the board state. It's crazy that double mastery getting 8 extra damage. And like I said, Fierock had a lot of potential of recovering. His hand just full of cards that could have saved the day if there weren't counters available. So the Reese player, once again, taking down the match without a Reese. I'm gonna stress here.
Yeah, we should say the Angel of Dawn player here.
Yeah,
they were both Angel of Dawn players.
That's true.
But only one of them got it this time.
Only one.